Glory is a movie starring Matthew Broderick and Morgan Freeman. I just want to get up there before I start this review that Morgan Freeman is one of my favorite actors of all time. And if you saw, again, my top 15 movies of all time list, he was in my favorite movie of all time, so that probably explains a bit of that. Glory is about Matthew Broderick leading this crew of African American army men during the, I don't know why I just ran out of breath, Civil War. And what I really, really like is that he is obviously the good guy. Matthew Broderick and the African American crew are obviously the good guys, because you look at the other guys who really don't like the African American crew, and if I wrote their character, they'd look like this. That joke was in my head, I just had to make it. Let me get into the acting in this film. Morgan Freeman and Matthew Broderick do phenomenal jobs in this film. Let me start with Matthew Broderick. I'll get into both of them. Matthew Broderick is extremely likable because he believes in them and you want them to succeed. The whole group really like him. You especially like Matthew Broderick for being the only one who actually cares about them. They think of them as, oh, send them out, they might die. We don't really care. America! So, you can like Matthew Broderick's character, and that is a big deal for me, if I can like a character or not. Not to mention, he gives a very realistic performance that makes you like him. Again, when I look at actors, they have to make me like the character, and he does a very good job of it. And Morgan Freeman, I don't know his character's name, but because I'm trying to do this because I said I would do a war movie for Memorial Day, and this is one of my favorites. And the reason I don't know why I said the reason. Backbone Reviews, I'm not taking this out. He is a very likable character as well because he's kind of like the leader besides Matthew Broderick. Matthew Broderick is like Matthew Broderick is Swan and Morgan Freeman is Cowboy from The Warriors. He's second in command, and you could really see Morgan Freeman being as good of a leader as Matthew Broderick, which he gives a very realistic performance of being a second in command because they're kind of on equal levels, and that's why I want a second in command character to be like. As with all the other groups, they do a great job they have great chemistry. Like, it's like the crew really look up to Matthew Broderick, and that is phenomenal. It's great chemistry between the cast, which, again, makes you believe him more and makes you like him more. Ran out of breath. And really, the acting is phenomenal, and the pacing, I was never bored during this movie. I had a fun time with it, and I cannot say how fun I had. Not to mention, this movie is not only a fun time, but there are some scenes where you'll get very inspired. It just made me want to go out and make something of my life. Then I realized I had to review this. And I'm going to reveal a spoiler here. If you haven't seen this movie, first of all, cancel your World of Warcraft subscription, go watch it. But here is a spoiler. If you would not like to hear a spoiler, just, skip ahead. Skip ahead, like a few seconds. Skip ahead. Just don't watch the rest of the review if you don't want to hear this, but I'd be surprised if you did see this movie. It's very good, and if you haven't, go see it. But when they all die, I cried. It's a very emotional moment. They really pluck at the heartstrings. I mean, you get so attached. And for anyone who just skipped ahead, you didn't need to know any of that. Let me get back to some inspiring scenes. Like, there were scenes where they all band together and they all start liking each other. The guys who look like the Emperor start liking this crew, and you're just like, oh, everyone's friends. It makes me want to stitch together some of my old friendships. And there are a lot of movies like that. I honestly didn't like Wario as much as everyone, so I want Wario to take a little page from the Glory book. This is how you get two people who are nothing alike together, and this great cinematography, especially for the last battle. The battle scenes in this movie are breathtaking, chills down my spine. And Morgan Freeman's voice also gives me chills down my spine. Come on, we all love that voice. The first time I met Andy Dufresne. So in the end, I'm going to give this movie, it's probably one of my favorite war movies of all time, a Insta Classic. Oh!